Microsoft internationally is doing well, and in fact Japan is one of the top markets overseas. So we're delighted to have the attention of corporate. I think you may have seen that I've announced a $2.9 billion investment in Japan's data center and infrastructure over the next 2 years. We've also announced 3 million people to be reskilled. All of that is supported and funded by corporate, so I couldn't be happier with the attention we're getting from corporate.
So a lot of investment into this market. Are you able to give us a sense of the revenue share for this country?
It's quite large, and let me leave it at that.
Okay, thank you. How does Microsoft Japan tailor its AI products, whether that's a 365 Copilot or Azure? How do you tailor those products to meet the particular demands of the businesses here?
Sure. The product is the product is the product. Our products and platforms are consistent globally. That said, the Japanese language is quite unique. So we have a dedicated group of engineers in corporate that are managed actually in corporate and other locations around the world, including Japan, to help us ensure that nothing is lost in translation, literally. So after English Copilot, the other Western European languages followed. Japanese, I think, has been one of the hardest languages for we, as Microsoft too, to make sure that the quality levels is what our customers expect in Japan. We're very fortunate to have very specific customers and great feedback. So we've been improving on the language front and the functionality front since we've launched Copilot officially in Japan since last November.
Yeah, I have actually been reading about how the nuance sometimes when it comes to Japanese translation into English, for example, can be lost. Can you give us a sense of how much more work there is to go on that front in terms of the Japanese language in AI in your products?
Sure. Well, overall with Copilot, we've just launched version 2. A year later. I can't believe the product has only been out in the market for a year. I've been using it for over a year. But I would say, just looking at the metrics, I think there were 700 improvements, 150 functionalities added. So I think that's a lot of improvement across the board. And again, I can't emphasize enough that it's not just the language issue, but it is a functionality issue. And I'm very pleased with the feedback we've got from Japanese customers who have suggested different ways to use the products that we have in the market.
When we look broadly in terms of AI adoption in the country, there's been various surveys that has suggested that Japan lags behind other developed economies in terms of adoption. I also asked Mickey about that. She says that she's been pleasantly surprised, particularly in terms of adoption by the blue chip companies. She spoke about the mega banks, for example, in Japan adopting internal chatbots, for example. Now, I also asked her about the management of the yen, because of course this year in particular there's been very pronounced fluctuations. Let's take a watch.
So as the head of Japan, I have a Japan P&L to manage. We have an exchange rate we manage with, and yet I'm hopeful. My favorite number from the government these days is that there's 34 trillion yen of opportunity from generative AI in 2025, according to the Ministry of Economy. So there's a lot to be had, and we'll have to go through the ups and downs of the exchange rate, I guess, just as many of our corporate customers are doing as well.